wrote the play about right when my dad started to get really sick. He had he had a stroke, and then his heart was just, it seemed to be just crumbling, and while he was dealing with cancer. And it all made me really confused about the order of the universe as I thought it was. And I wrote all that down into the play. I wrote about me and my dad's relationship changing as he got sicker. And I sent the play to Ben because he's the one I send everything to. So he came to me a couple of months after I'd sent it to him and talked about taking these characters and the story and transposing it to the Louisiana Bayou. And then it just started from there. We would send each other drafts back and forth. He'll work late into the night until about 3 in the morning, and I get up at around 3:34 in the morning anyway. So we had a really quick turnaround in terms of how quickly we could get the script back and forth to each other, and that enabled us to get the whole story done pretty quickly within a couple of months. That was the real genesis for the movie, was this idea of the bathtub and putting these characters in the bathtub. And
okay.
So together we created the bathtub and what the rituals were in the world, what the school boat looks like. I mean, the fact that there is a school boat, what they learn in school, what their holidays are, what makes the bathtub more special than any other place in the world. And then watching Hush Puppy lose that, and watching how she holds on to that, how she holds on to her dad, and in the end, how she keeps what she can in her heart, and which is all any of us can do. Well, what we wanted to do was tell the story very much from Hush Puppy's point of view, and Ben had that. Everyone Ben collaborated with for this movie, me, his cinematographer, his editors, his composer. That conversation was immediate, which was, this is everything we're seeing as the audience, everything the camera's showing us, everything the music's giving us. This is Hush Puppy's point of view. You're behind Hush Puppy's eyes. So to that end, they're real to her. The Aurochs are real to her, and that's the real tension of it. Because when you're 6 years old, the world is this incredible, fantastical place, and you don't really question why the magic is. You just go with it, and it becomes a way that you receive greater information, that in a way that you can process. Well, then Janae Wallace.
Oh, because yeah, very, very.
She is.
Tell me a little bit about
like
finding her, and was it like as soon as she came in the room was like, oh, that's it, that's it?
Well, I'll say that Ben wasn't going to shoot until they found Hush Puppy, and that, how he was going to do the Aurochs, I had no idea how he was going to find someone who could carry all these scenes. There were really heavy emotional scenes, who had never acted before, because it was really, he wanted to work with just a real person. So I didn't know how he was going to do it, and they looked at over 4,000 kids before they found her, and they were sending me audition tapes for a while, and with each kid it was such a different take on Hush Puppy that the rewrite would be so massive that it was just too much, and I was like, just send me, when you find her, just send it to me. And a couple of months went by, and then they sent me her video clip, and it was so, I never questioned it. It was so immediate, that strength and that real sense of humor and that facility with language, that real, she has this real muscle for words. Mm-hmm. And she just nailed it. She's funny, which is very important. She's very transparent. You really see everything that's going on with her, and she doesn't fake it. She doesn't fake anything. I'm not an actor, and I remember somebody saying, I think from our point of view, for the writer, all you want them to do is say something and mean it. Say the words and mean it. And I'm sure that an actor would talk about their job as much more complicated, but that was what I wanted Hush Puppy to do, was just say it and mean it, and she absolutely meant it. And the same with Dwight Henry, who plays her father. He just nails it. He owned a bakery across the street from where we were casting, and they would have donuts a couple of times a day and just start talking to him, and he has this incredible charisma, again, an incredible sense of humor, and he's completely his own person in this way that Wink is. He's this unapologetic, brave, wild soul, and everything he does is for his family. and which was important because that's everything Wink does is for his family too. He's just in much more difficult circumstances, and what we did with Dwight was just we could see that in him. I mean, we could see somebody who'd worked so hard to build this bakery from nothing for his kids, and that kind of, I mean, he knows the story. We could just tell he knew the story in his heart already, and I just think he nailed it. Yeah, the fact that we got to make this movie and tell the story with our closest friends, and to really do this as a family, and that it turned out the way we wanted it to, the way we hoped it would, and that other people see it and have a personal relationship to it has always been so special to me. So that's what I focus on.